What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and this time we're on some Forza 5 really quick here, and I have a Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR Hakosuka here, and this is already tuned, it's modded, as you guys can see. A lot of stuff done to it. I love it in black. I think it just looks amazing right now, and this is pretty much tuned for the track. So I haven't done too much to the actual suspension work and stuff like that because it handles very, very well as it is. I've messed around with the differential, I messed around with the transmission, stuff like that, because I ended up tuning this for the ring. Now I wanted to go ahead and actually make a video of this. As you can see, it's only a B-class car, so it's not incredibly powerful, but it has, I think, 289 brake horsepower right now, and it doesn't really weigh that much at all. But I wanted to go ahead and do a little time attack thing on the Nürburgring. I wanted to see what it was like. I'll actually show you guys. Because I haven't done like an actual like legit time attack. As you can see, it has 284, sorry, not 289, 284 horsepower, and it weighs 2,034 kilos. Now I've used this thing against cars that were in A-class, and I destroyed them. Like, I was always at the top of the race, like of the pack, and that's pretty much it. Actually, we can just start right now. All right. And it's just such a fast car altogether to drive. So I wanted to go ahead and actually make a video on this thing. I wanted, first of all, to have a race with this thing done, and I just didn't get a chance to do it. I'll hopefully try to use this in the future in more races and try to get some more stuff with this car. But I don't know. Like, this thing turned out so well when I first started to mess around with it. Like, I took it out on the track. I knew it was going to be like a really good car to drive, but I didn't think it was going to be like this amazing, especially for a B-class car. Okay, now let's do this thing. I am ready. But yeah, I wanted to have a few races done with this thing, but I just didn't get a chance to. Also, I wanted to play some Forza Horizon 2 and bring out some videos on the new 350Z that's in the game, but that's not gonna happen because Forza just decides to not give me the cars for some reason, but I guess that's alright. I'm gonna play some Forza 5 instead. Now this thing is fast, like really fast. It's surprisingly fast. You don't have to brake too much in most of these corners. That's what I like about this thing. So when people like brake really hard, you can just like go through them, even if you get a little bit of oversteer. I mean, look how fast you're going already, and it's such a good car. Like, especially the control. I mean, this is just an absolute beast. This, I think, would be a perfect rival to the 8.6. I think this would be an amazing race if I can actually get a few people on and do a race between the 8.6 and this. Both of them like tuned and stuff like that. I think that'll be just absolutely amazing. It would turn out to be a really good video. But yeah, I don't know why my braking line's on. I think I used it for the career mode races. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I used it for the career mode races because I don't know. I'm just trying to progress for the career mode, and I have like everybody on like unbeatable, so I'm trying to sort of get like the most amount of money and stuff like that. You don't have to brake at all. I mean, you're not driving incredibly fast as it is, because it's obviously a B-class car, but it's just so good to drive. It's just really fast. Compared to like A-class cars, it's very fast. That's why I wanted to make a video specifically on this thing right now. It's just an absolute beast. And like I said, where everybody has to like brake, you don't have to brake as hard. You can brake later. It's just overall just such a great car to drive. Like I said, I haven't done much to the springs. I think I made them a little bit softer because I put the race springs on it, but I didn't like the way it handled. Like, it was just a little bit too stiff. So I think I softened the springs a little bit, maybe added a tiny bit of camber and toe. And that's pretty much it. Like, I haven't changed too much. It's very close to stock with the suspension. Or, well, not stock, but like after you add like the race suspension, it's pretty close to the race suspension without a tune. This thing is fun. This just gets me more pumped up and hyped about Forza 6, to be honest, because I cannot wait to do some good track racing again, because this is just fun. I mean, I've spent like the whole of last year pretty much playing a lot of Forza Horizon 2. I mean, Forza Horizon 2 is my thing. Don't get me wrong, I love that game, but I think we need to get back to a little bit of track racing. I mean, Gran Turismo's kind of alright, I guess, but I mean, Forza 5 is like a little bit better, to be completely honest with you guys. For anybody that watches this video and says the Gran Turismo 6 is better at track racing, it's just not. It's not. I've played both games. I have both games. I play them regularly, and this game is just a little bit more realistic when it comes to the way a car handles and stuff like that. It's a little bit more, I don't know, it's a little bit more difficult, right? Like, I feel that Gran Turismo's, like, especially the suspension, is incredibly solid. It doesn't matter how soft you make it. It's incredibly solid, and you don't have enough roll, you don't have enough, like, you don't feel it that much when you're driving the car itself. It just, the cars just feel way too planted on the track. I mean, race cars feel great because they're supposed to be like that, like GT500 cars and stuff like that. They feel like the way they're supposed to feel in the game, nice and solid and whatever when you're driving on the track. But like normal cars, when you end up tuning them, they feel just way too solid. Even if you bring the spring rate down and stuff like that, they just feel way too stiff with the suspension. And this game sort of feels like it has a little bit more of a give in the suspension. You actually have to sort of tune the suspension a little bit more to be able to actually get like some decent cornering and stuff like that. I don't know. And also the racing tires in Gran Turismo are incredible. Like, they just make any car feel like an F1 car. And in this game, I can legit just start to like drift with the race tires on, which is really weird. And also, you're gonna have to like sort of heat up the tires in this game, which is kind of cool as well, because that's how it works in real life. You know, you have to heat up the tires before you can actually go ahead and do a nice solid run. And it does actually work. Like, it does. Like, I've done races before where like I've been absolute trash in the first lap, and then the second lap it's been a little bit better. Not a fan of the carousel, especially with the controller. It's just weird to do. Here we go though. We got through it. Okay, come on. I don't like doing like any other perspective because I'll end up crashing, by the way. That's why I'm sitting in the cockpit view. I feel like it's the the easiest one to sort of able to drive with and do well, for me anyway. Like, I cannot drive. I can probably do like bumper view, but I think cockpit view is the best because I can sort of, I don't know, it just feels right, you know? It just feels good. In Gran Turismo, I can't drive in cockpit view. I can only drive in bumper view whenever I'm doing any sort of like racing. But when I'm like drifting, I have to be in third person, in like the rear camera view. You know, when you're looking like from the back, and you can actually see the whole car. Like, I love doing that for Gran Turismo. In this game, again, I have to be in cockpit view at like all times. It's just, I don't know, it just feels right for this game. And I'm not the only one for some reason. Like, a lot of other people are thinking the same thing. Maybe it's because when I go ahead and I go into like the exterior mode, like the exterior view, I just cannot see like what the wheels are doing, and it just feels very delayed whenever I'm like driving. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me. Especially when I'm drifting and I'm trying to like counter steer and stuff like that. I usually do it like too much, or I don't do it enough, or I don't do it fast enough. And I think when I'm inside, I can like move the wheel, like my actual steering wheel, and I can see what's going on and when I'm doing it. And I think that's probably another reason why I prefer driving cockpit mode. It's just, it's so good. And I want to keep going back to like talk about this Skyline because it's such a solid car. I mean, I was doing a race before with what you call it, with the slap train and a bunch of other people, and he was in a Viper, and he was definitely a lot faster than me. But I managed to like keep up with him, and even actually like pass him and get into first place as well. In some places, that's how good this thing is right now. But like, obviously, it doesn't have the same amount of like crazy horsepower as the Viper and like all of the other cars. It only has like around 300 horsepower, rounded up. So it's not that bad. I love this thing a lot. Like, this is just such a beautiful car. So this is like a dream car right now. This is a car you wouldn't use daily. This is a car you'd keep in your garage, bring it out like weekends and stuff like that. This is a car that you're gonna have to keep under your like in your garage or in your driveway, like covered up and stuff like that, just so like the elements of the world can't get to it and I don't know. This is more of a collector's item, this car. Like, I don't think I'd take it to the ring. If I would, I'd probably buy 2 of them and use one as a track car, but I'm not made out of money, so that's gonna be insane. Plus, these things are pretty expensive. These things are about the same price, if not a little bit more, than like an R34 GTR. So, yeah. Anyway, so I managed to get to 8 minutes and 6 seconds. That is fast. That is really fast for this thing. 8 minutes and 6 seconds for a car that has 290 horsepower. That is not too bad. That is not too bad. I can probably do a little bit better than I did before, because I've been sort of going a little bit too fast into all these corners. As you can probably see, I ended up oversteering a little bit. But yeah, this is a decent time, I think. I can probably, like I said, get a little bit faster, but it is not too bad. Thank you, everybody, for watching today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys later.